Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Inspiring Our World. My name is Julie Tara, and today I'm going to be talking with you about how hydration can affect athletic performance. You know, being an athlete all my life, I find this subject fascinating. So we're going to have some fun here learning about it together. The amount of water a person needs varies depending on age, gender, level of activity, and so forth. Athletes in particular require consistent water intake before, during, and after whatever physical activity they're doing, because they are purposely putting themselves in high-stress situations that produce a lot of perspiration. The most recent Active Wellness blog addressed why athletes and those of us who exercise frequently and intensely need to monitor our water intake. Approximately 60% of body weight is water. Part of that water content may be lost throughout the day as we perspire and go through other bodily functions. That's why we need to hydrate throughout the day. For athletes especially, hydration is one of the most important nutritional concerns because during training and competition, if water is not replaced at regular intervals, it can lead to dehydration. A dehydrated athlete has a decreased volume of blood circulating through the body. This impacts the body in several risky ways. When the volume of circulating blood is less than optimal, the amount of blood that is pumped with each heartbeat also decreases. The muscles that are being exercised then do not receive sufficient oxygen, and fatigue sets in. In addition, what should be flushing out of the body during exercise will not be as efficiently handled as the body tries to compensate for the lack of hydration. Research has shown that losing as little as 2% of total body weight can negatively affect athletic performance. For example, if a 150-pound athlete loses 3 pounds due to dehydration during a workout or a competition, their ability to perform at peak performance is reduced. Proper fluid replenishment is the key to preventing dehydration and reducing the risk of heat injury in athletes engaged in training and competition. Water is involved in the majority of chemical reactions involved in athletic performance. It is important that athletes are hydrated before, during, and after physical activity to achieve their best physical performance. Research from the University of Connecticut tested athletes' muscle growth during resistance training over a period of 3 different states. Euhydrated, that's being in a state of water balance. Moderately dehydrated, 2.5% of body weight. And critically dehydrated, 5% of body weight. Researchers drew the athlete's blood and examined certain molecules directly correlated to muscle growth. The athletes in a dehydrated state had an increased level of the stress hormone known as cortisol, which reduces the level of testosterone, the primary hormone required for muscle growth. Additionally, increased cortisol concentration reduces the amount of testosterone released as a response to resistance-specific weight training. Often, athletes do not realize they're losing too much water because they rely on thirst to tell them they need to rehydrate. Many times, by the time thirst kicks in, the athlete is already in a mild state of dehydration. Even when athletes drink throughout their workouts, they may not be hydrating enough. The safest way to maintain hydration is to drink plenty of fluids before, during, and after a workout or competition. Some guidelines are: weigh in before and after training, especially during hot weather. Drink up to 0.6 liters, that's 20 fluid ounces, about 4 hours prior to intense workouts. For every pound, about half a kilogram lost, drink 3/4 of a liter, that's 24 fluid ounces. Aim for lemonade color urine. Anything darker is a sign of dehydration. Replenish fluids even if you don't feel actual thirst. Keep in mind that it is impossible to recommend a universal replacement strategy for all physically active individuals. Everybody's sweat rate, sweat sodium losses, ability to adapt to heat, training status, and daily fluid consumption varies. Nonetheless, routine measurements of body weight pre- and post-exercise can be useful for estimating fluid replacement needs. The power of hydration simply cannot be overstated, and our PyMag products play such a crucial part in our maintenance of active wellness and overall health. Why drink anything but PyMag water when we know there is so much bacteria and other contaminants in tap water? Why shower with anything but the PyMag shower systems when we know our pores absorb so much of the chlorine in our city's water systems? And personally, one of my favorite parts of being associated with Niken is that we can be part of the solution to curtail plastic waste. Drinking and using PyMag water is such an easy way to contribute to the well-being of planet Earth. So I'd love to share with you a little bit about my own story and my quest for learning about hydration. You know, in my first career as a professional ballerina with the Royal Ballet and Dutch National Ballet, we were not taught the importance and power of hydration for peak performance. In fact, because of the negative teaching style from a tender age of 3 or 4 years old, pretty much all of us developed a very negative body image. You know, this is now called body dysmorphic disorder. But this led to taking things like diuretics and laxatives in teenage years to produce a leaner look. And that, coupled with drinking very little water, could lead to physical problems, as you can imagine. Well, we've come a long way in our understanding of hydration in the body. And you'll now see athletes, including dancers, thank goodness, with their water bottles always close at hand. Our sports bottle is a wonderful solution, I have to say. Now, these days, I continue to exercise with Pilates, yoga, some dance, even trapeze for a while, and now gyrotonics, which is a new discovery I'm super excited about. And of course, hiking at high altitude in the Rocky Mountains where I live. Well, thanks to Niken, I have learned the critical importance of consistent, adequate hydration for optimum health and peak performance. Aside from the fabulous taste of PyMag water, the fact that it's more alkaline means the body is able to absorb the water more easily than regular water, which is more acidic. This in turn allows the body to be better hydrated for whatever sport or activity you might be involved with. I can tell you this has made a huge difference in my life, and of course in many, many others. We all know how important it is to incorporate movement of some kind or another into our daily lives. Our bodies are built to move, and we're happier when we consistently move. And with great hydration from PyMag water, our exercise program will be far more enjoyable than ever. Well, that's it from me today. Thanks so much for listening. And don't forget to follow the podcast and tune in next week for our next episode of Inspiring Our World. Bye for now.